Art piece will soon be on display for the community, but with a special message behind it.
3 News Now reporter Alyssa Curtis spoke with the young artists about what they hope their painting depicts.
We actually wanted to give our students a platform to talk about social justice, talk about inclusion, and give them an opportunity to speak their mind about what's happening in the community.
Man, I watch too many cartoons now that my daughter's here, so and I saw this lady. I couldn't think of what cartoon it was, but some cartoon she looked like a character from it. But why is this old boomer? She looked like she lived through the 60s and the 50s when it was, really stuff going on. Why is she filling these kids' minds up with this social justice crap instead of teaching them how to get jobs, and not even teaching them how to get jobs, telling them to go get jobs, the plenty of jobs that are out there, the careers that are out there. They have all the opportunity in the world. Why is she not telling these kids, especially these little son teens, that the world is their oyster? In my day, we couldn't even ride the bus. Baby. We had to drink from a different water fountain, baby. You had colored this and colored that. If it didn't say colored on it, you couldn't go, baby. Like, why is she telling these kids that now they got it bad? But every one of those kids has a state-of-the-art computer in their pocket, more powerful than any computer from her day, in their pocket. Why is this woman doing this? It's criminal to me. I think it's criminal, man, for an old head to tell a young son teen in this day and age, fill their head up with a bunch of crap about disenfranchised, disadvantaged, disparities, this and that, underfunding, all this crap.
We actually wanted to give our students a platform to talk about social justice, talk about inclusion, and give them an opportunity to speak their mind about what's happening in the community.
Leaders of local mentoring organization Partnership for Kids believe it's important to serve as a safe space for students to express their thoughts and concerns. And that's what the students have been working on the last year through discussions about important topics.
Diversity in the community, just being able to touch on different cultures, different aspects of lives, and just being able to come together.
I know these are technically kids, but I got to take the gloves off because these kids are going to make it terrible for the future kids. First of all, diversity. Let's talk about diversity, man. Okay? Nobody's more cliquey and standoffish than some people. Okay? Take your glacier glider self around the Sun neighborhood and you ain't buying no drugs. Just go around there and kick it and hang out. See what happened to you. And this guy's on TV talking about diversity. And what are your test scores? What are your grades? How many internships have you done? How many applications have you sent to this, that person in your field that you want to go into? How many independent projects are you, like, what is he talking about diversity? You can do anything you want, man. Kids are making music videos with their cell phones. People are making movies with this because it's something with entertainment. Come on. 9 times out of 10, this dude wants to be something dealing with entertainment. He don't look like much the athlete, so probably something varying position in entertainment. Come on, man. You can do whatever you want, man. The world is your oyster, kid.
Diversity in the community, just being able to touch on different cultures, different aspects of lives, and just being able to come together.
Everyone has different stories and different backgrounds, and because of that, their different identities and backgrounds, they have different experiences that not all of us understand.
After those discussions, they brainstormed how to put those thoughts into actions. They partnered with community artist David Koenig in the Peregrine Hotel to create a mural.
My goal is kind of like when you come into the Peregrine Hotel and you see it, first you're going to see kind of like a giant diving peregrine, but then as you get closer, then you'll start to enjoy each piece for its own individuality.
The art piece is just another way to continue that conversation and show each kid's individuality, but at the end come together and show one community.
So all different colors, I think of it as like all skin types and like all identities, and it's just bringing them together to make something beautiful. Texture too.
The mural will be displayed at the lobby of the Peregrine Hotel in downtown Omaha. Representatives say the art piece fits perfectly into the hotel's mission.
Someone who comes to town, they've got somewhere to stay, and we want them to feel welcome. And it doesn't matter what their background is, what their race, their color, anything. Their religion, they're accepted, they're part of us.
The students say they're excited to see it come together, just like how they come together as a group. Reporting in Omaha, Alyssa Curtis, 3 News Now.
They're doing this crap in Omaha, Nebraska. So they've invaded Omaha. Y'all done lost Omaha. Y'all glacier gliders ain't worth nothing. Y'all done gave up Omaha. Y'all done lost Omaha. What's next? Boise? I done already did several stories on Fargo, North Dakota. They up there too. Wow. Salt Lake City just did a story a couple weeks ago. Y'all losing Salt Lake City. Wow. Where y'all gonna hide at, man? Wow.
It's day 2 of protests at Howard University. This as students conduct a sit-in over poor housing conditions. Fox 5's Jacqueline Matter joins us now live from Blackburn Center on campus with more. Jacqueline.
Hey there, Angie. We are talking rats. We're talking...
She gonna make one of them brothers down Howard denounce their wokeness, man. Say, sister, can you tap that white girl?
Hey there, Angie. We are talking rats. We're talking roaches, mold. Those are just some of the issues that students here at Howard University are complaining about. Now, we were previously at the protest earlier. We were kicked off campus, so now we're standing outside of the Blackburn Center, which is right behind this building here. That is where dozens of protesters are sitting outside. Many more are sitting inside of the Blackburn Center who can't leave or risk losing their efforts. Video sent to Fox 5 shows water pouring out of pipes, expired air filters with mold and mildew.
Look at this. Like, are you serious?
And mushrooms growing on ceilings and walls. With tuition being nearly $50,000 a year, they say they're frustrated with how Howard University's administration has handled the situation.
Now, you all know the story. Obama had a terrible relationship with these HBCUs. These HBCUs are federally funded. They always get the least amount of money. Obama really didn't. He did them dirty during his time there, and ironically, Trump, as you all know, from the campaign, he was one of the guys who gave them a lot of money. he fully funded them for 10 years, whereas Obama and the Democrats, throughout the course of history, they would fund them for a year. And every year they would have to come back and ask for more money. Trump funded them for 10 years. Well, a funny thing happened. These same people at these HBCUs galvanized their students and anybody in earshot to vote against Donald Trump because he said some mean things about some hombritos. He said he's going to build the wall and he's going to send the feds into Chicago to, stop the thugs from killing little children. So they didn't like that. So they went on a campaign to help Joseph, I don't want my kids to grow up in a racial jungle, Biden. And it worked. They were very successful. Along with other people and other, the other factors. But they were one factor. They were a cog in the wheel to help get Trump ousted and Biden elected. And now Biden's doing them dirty as far as funding. And you're seeing stuff like this now. You can't make this stuff up. I don't feel sorry for them. This is what you get. You asked for it. Enjoy.
Video sent to Fox 5 shows water pouring out of pipes, expired air filters with mold and mildew.
Look at this. Are you serious?
And mushrooms growing on ceilings and walls. With tuition being nearly $50,000 a year, they say they're frustrated with how Howard University's administration has handled the situation. Many students we spoke to want to remain anonymous out of fear of getting expelled.
So her entire room flooded.
Close friend of mine, same thing, roof collapsed.
There's mold in the dorms.
And in the meantime, they were not concerned with how she was getting by.
The group Live Movement, a coalition of students from historically black colleges and universities, originally invited faculty and school officials to a town hall Tuesday night to address their concerns. Instead, police arrived on campus to try to remove students. Students are now demanding an in-person meeting with administrators by the end of the month, voting power for student representatives on the Board of Trustees, and further discussion of housing plans for future students. Howard University tweeting a statement saying in part they support the right to a peaceful protest, and during a student town hall, a small group interrupted the constructive dialogue and instigated the sit-in. They went on to say they have sat down with student leaders for lunch to open up a conversation about their concerns over the past 2 weeks.
Why am I paying full tuition when all my classes are online?
Could have been doing that back home.
They got these kids paying full tuition while all their classes online. Wow. This is a racket. I mean, listen, Howard's always had corruption and always had stealing. There's always been scandals. The money's always been funny. However, they do horrible during Democratic administrations. They do terrible. And these kids, this girl is probably the wokest. This girl, it was 200 murders in D.C. last year. 200 something. For the first time in almost 20 years. I bet you the only murder this girl knows is probably some police killed some dude. I bet you that's the only murder she know about in the city. I bet the only time she ever care about a son man getting killed in D.C. is if it's by a cop. I bet she's still going to be wokety woke. This won't change her woke this one bit. There's nothing you can do with liberals. There's nothing you can do. They're beyond the pale, man. They're hopeless.
Why am I paying full tuition when all my classes are online?
Could have been doing that back home.
Students say their protests have remained peaceful, even when administrators threatened to expel students if they did not leave the building before noon on Wednesday. Instead, hundreds more went inside. At one point, campus police blocked food, water, and resources from coming into Blackburn, where the students were gathered.
So campus police blocked food and water. It will starve them out. Wow. This how the white man. Look how y'all do. Look how y'all do. Look at the motherland, the continent. Look how y'all do each other over there. Look at this place. This HBCU. All y'all running it completely. Top to bottom. It's just like a country in the motherland. Wow. Something wrong with the hardware, man. There's a hardware issue, man.
Have remained peaceful, even when administrators threatened to expel students if they did not leave the building before noon on Wednesday. Instead, hundreds more went inside. At one point, campus police blocked food, water, and resources from coming into Blackburn, where the students were gathered. For nearly every student Fox 5 spoke with, they all say they will not leave until their demands are met.
I'd rather get kicked out of school, but no. I got kicked out of school, but now I'm looking back on news or looking back at my friends and they're like, oh, I'm sorry you got kicked out, but, we have housing that doesn't have mushrooms, doesn't have fungi, doesn't have, stuff like that. Buildings aren't leaking anymore.
Now, we did get our hands on an email that went out from faculty to the students here at Howard University that said that they stand in solidarity with these students. As of right now, though, the university has not responded to the request from the protesters to have that in-person meeting. I also chatted with one of the leaders of this movement here. They tell me they are working to find some sort of legal representation for any students that face any sort of reprimand from school officials. Back to you.